Welcome back to Lessons from Books, an explainer where we take foundational texts and turn them into actionable masterclasses. Okay, let's dive right into this. Today, we're looking at something almost all of us have, but very few of us actually know how to handle properly: a dream. Today, we are exploring John C. Maxwell's phenomenal framework from his book, Put Your Dream to the Test. Now listen, this isn't about wishing on a star or hoping for some fairy godmother. It is a rock-solid, concrete framework that transitions you from just being a passive dreamer into an active implementer by putting your vision right under the microscope. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what are the actual odds you'll achieve your biggest goal? Are we talking 1 in 5, 1 in 100, 1 in a million? While Maxwell argues that you really don't have to leave this up to chance. You can rigorously test your dream, and the more questions you can answer affirmatively, the higher your odds of success. To help you diagnose your actual chances of success, we're going to walk through a structured consultation using Maxwell's crucial questions. Our agenda today covers the dream disconnect, ownership, clarity, and passion, the strategy reality check, cost and tenacity, and finally, the significance question. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the dream disconnect, reality versus illusion. Let's talk about a totally universal problem here, the massive disconnect between just having a dream and actually executing it. It's kind of wild how many of our so-called dreams are really just illusions. Maxwell points out 4 major misconceptions. First up, daydreams, which, let's be honest, are often just distractions from our day-to-day grind. Then you've got pie-in-the-sky dreams. These are wild ideas with absolutely zero strategy or basis in reality. Third are bad dreams, which are essentially just worries that breed fear and paralysis. And finally, career dreams, which is that false belief that simply climbing the corporate ladder will automatically make you happy. Dreams are incredibly fragile, especially when they're brand new, so we have to clear away all these misconceptions first. Okay, so if those aren't real dreams, what exactly is? Maxwell redefines a true dream not as some vague wish, but as a concrete, better future that literally requires you to step up as the architect. You've got to draw it out, not just for your own benefit, but to show others how to actually make it a reality. You must be the visionary. That brings us right to Section 2, ownership, clarity, and passion, the foundation of the dream test. So the absolute crucial point here is establishing a baseline. Is this dream actually yours? Do you see it clearly? And does it genuinely compel you to act? I absolutely love this quote by speechwriter Robert Orban. The realists know where they're going. The dreamers have already been there. Think about that. If you've already been there in your mind, then you are ready to put your vision to the test. You have to own that mental real estate before literally anything else can happen. Because the truth is, you simply cannot achieve a dream you don't completely own. And this brilliantly illustrates why Arnold Schwarzenegger succeeded. He explicitly rejected his family's conventional expectations of him becoming a banker or a secretary just so he could wholly own his bodybuilding ambition. He knew it was the perfect choice for him, even when nobody else agreed. And because he owned it, he went on to build an estimated net worth of $800 million across movies, real estate, and politics. Talk about owning your vision, right? Furthermore, just like an architect, you must have total clarity. Let's look at this comparison. Visualizing the end versus starting the build. As an architect named John Fleming told Maxwell, you cannot start building a project until you have already finished it in your mind's eye. So, if you're the leader of your own life, you need to see that end result perfectly clearly before you start leading your team or laying down any bricks. But here's the thing. Clarity and ownership need fuel. Passion creates possibility. The spark of passionate desire is literally the starting point of all achievement. Now, while passion all on its own isn't quite enough to get you across the finish line, which is exactly why it's only one part of the test, it provides that vital spark of electrical energy that makes doing the hard, tedious, everyday work actually possible. All right, let's jump into Section 3, the strategy reality check. Do you have a plan? So seeing how this builds into the cold, hard reality of strategy, this data from a 2005 Think TQ study is honestly a massive wake-up call. Notice the steep drop-off. Only 26% of people focus on specific, tangible targets, and a mere 19% set goals that actually align with their purpose, mission, and passion. I mean, that shows how incredibly few people actually map out a strategy to reach their destination. There is no magic power in just having a dream, folks. You've got to connect where you are right now to where you want to go. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, cost and tenacity, paying the price. Look, fantasies are totally free, But true dreams, they require resources, sacrifice, and an iron will. When we think of our goals, we usually only picture the upside, the value added to us, the benefits, the fancy titles, the rewards. But actually achieving those things requires an equal, if not greater, focus on the flip side, the non-essentials we must give up: time, comfort, maybe even certain relationships. The reality is, if you want to go up, you have to be willing to give things up. So, the ultimate requirements basically boil down to these 3 fundamental steps. Number 1, own your dream completely. Number 2, plan a concrete strategy. And number 3, pay the personal cost. It is not enough just to plan. You need to genuinely engage every resource and asset you possess to make it a reality. And when paying that cost gets exhausting, and it absolutely will, you need tenacity. Former heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey captured this perfectly. He said, "A champion is one who gets up when he can't." Tenacity is exactly what pushes you forward when every single avenue looks like a dead end. People who actually achieve their dreams, they keep going, even when they feel they've exhausted every possibility, simply because they know there are always other options out there. Finally, let's turn to Section 5, the significance question, the ultimate purpose. The absolute greatest reward of pursuing your vision is the personal growth and who you become in the process. But its ultimate value, that's determined by its impact. Which brings us to our final and maybe most crucial question. Does your dream benefit others? Think about it. If you have the opportunity to lead an extraordinary life, do you really have the right to keep it all to yourself? A truly great dream is almost always way too big for just one person. It requires you to depend on others, and in turn, it lifts them up, so everybody wins. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take away from our explainer today. Look at the dream you're holding onto right now. Is it big enough to actually benefit the people around you, or is it time to dream bigger? Thanks for hanging out with us today, and keep building that better future.